Hi everyone, it's Ali. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. Today I'm going to make a pop-up box using the scalloped box card pop-up die from Fawn. And this is totally inspired by a picture I saw on Pinterest by Christina Raposo. So thank you so much, and I love getting my ideas from Pinterest. I find it so inspiring. So I'm just going to use the basic part of the die to cut out two base pieces from a craft cardstock, and then I'm going to stick that all together with those little tabs on the side. Just use a bit of double-sided tape on those, and then you just stick those two pieces together and secure them, and then stick the other tab together and it forms the base of your pop-up box. And this is a really great little die. I've used it quite a bit already, and it makes it so much easier than measuring everything out and scoring things and like I used to. Just using a template, so it's much easier with the die. So just securing the other little tab, and then it's complete. And then you just fold down three sides of that. Don't fold down the back piece, obviously, because that's the piece that sits up. And I usually score it with my bone scorer just to make sure it's going to sit nice and flat. Then the two little tabs go inside in the die as well, which is really handy. So just fold those ends over, a bit of double-sided tape, and then slide them in where you think they should go. If you secure one end well and then push it together, it just helps you reposition if it needs repositioning, and it makes sure it's straight. So that's the base of the pop-up box, really easy and quick. And now I'm just going to cut out the other parts of the die, the squares of coloured paper that go on the front of the pop-up box. And I'm using a My Favourite Things 6x6 Plaid Patterns paper pad. And just run that through my Big Shot. And then they just fit exactly on the little squares on the pop-up box, which is really handy. No measuring needed there either, which is really good. And then I just glued those on to the front of the box. You also get square pieces for the underneath of the box, but I don't worry too much about that because when the flaps are down you don't really see that too much anyway. And this is a little picket fence die. It's a free die that I got on a magazine, and the magazine was actually Paper Craft Essentials, and it was issue 144. It's a really great little die. I've always wanted a little picket fence but never really thought it's an essential, but when I saw it free on the front of the magazine I just had to grab that from my newsagents. And then I just made two of those by cutting out 4 little picket fences and then glued them into my pop-up box. And that set also has some nice little spring garden stamps that came with it as well, so they're very cute. Not that I've used them on this card. And I just used a bit of my multimedia matte glue and the precision tip, and I'm just going to glue that on to the back of the pop-up box. And then I'm going to grab some grass, or I've used the Fawn, I think it's grass border die, and just run a few of those through my Big Shot again, and then just cut them to size and stuck them inside the pop-up box. Okay, so now I've got a punch, and I'm sure this is a I can't remember who, it's Martha Stewart, that's right, it's a Martha Stewart punch, and I'm pretty sure it's like a holly shape, and I've just punched 2 of those, stuck them together in my little, sort of like a little bush, little plant, and then I've done a few of those, and just to make a few little bushes to put on the grass areas. Then I'm going to cut out my bike die, my bicycle die, and again this is a free die that I got on a magazine, and it was actually quite some time ago, and I don't have the magazine anymore, but I know it's got their Creative Dies Build a Bikes die and stamp set, and it's by Practical Publishing, and it's a UK edition, so it was possibly the same type of Papercraft Essentials magazine that I had. So I've just cut that in red, and then cut the wheels out in black, and then I've double layered the actual red part so that it's a little bit sturdier, and then just attach the little black ties on. And then I'm just using a bit of my multimedia matte glue again on the bottom of the the bike wheels, and then I'm going to attach that into the box card. There we go. And then I decided I wanted some red flowers on those little bushes that I had. So I've just used, it's a very cheap little punch, tiny little punch with, little flower punch, sorry. And I've just punched that out of some red card and then stuck those onto the bushes here and there. And I thought there wasn't enough sort of bushes there, so I just added another one, and also used my Lawn Fawn cloud die to put a cloud on the background there. Okay, so I'm nearly there. I'm just going to add the sentiment on to the front, and you can see there I've also put some of those little bushes and the red flowers on each side flap of the card. And I've used a Simon Says stamp die set, Sending and Wishing, which is a great set. I've used it loads, and that's where I got the little wishing you the happiest birthday. I've just stamped the happiest birthday in Versamite black ink on a piece of white card and cut that out, and then popped that up with 3D foam. So that's pretty much it for the card. I hope you enjoyed watching, and thanks for the inspiration, Christina Raposo from Pinterest. And I hope that inspires you to make a pop-up box card. They're really quite easy and fun, and they're so lovely, just a bit different to a usual card. Thanks so much for joining me and watching, and I'll catch you next time.